It would be
programs?
nice if they had a limitation on it, like maybe to the equivalent of the school scholarship,
Something like
or
that.
25 grand,
Yeah.
and let's see how it goes. But then I think that violates some laws where you're limiting the ability of what they can make when other students at the university that get music scholarships can go out and do as many gigs as they want and make money.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that perspective, you're like, okay, like why should the athletes be punished? But, you know, giving athletes at 18 years old, 19 years old, that much money, I really hope that the colleges, I think, are trying to do a very good job of educating them, not wasting it, and teaching them money management skills. It's hard to have that kind of discipline, though, when you're in college, but hopefully, you know, it's helping better their lives a little bit, and they're doing some good things in the community and doing clinics and reaching out to kids. We used to do those things for free. It was called volunteering, but now they found a pathway to be able to get paid for it lucratively.
Well, let me ask you, Scott, right? Back when you were wrestling and in college, and somebody came to you and said, hey, you know, Scott, we'll give you $200,000 to come to our university and wrestle. For a young, college kid who's got to pay off college debt and all this kind of stuff, well, if you got a scholarship, maybe not as much, but it's one of those things where you think, oh, okay, that's pretty good. But you're right. I mean, to see some wrestlers get offered like 200 grand to come to the school, and another wrestler gets offered 50 grand. I mean, still, that's a lot of money in college. But it just kind of, I don't know, like you were talking about, there needs to be some type of middle ground maybe where it's not so exorbitant, some of the amounts of money, I mean, I think it's good that these college, athletes are getting recognized and getting some money, because for all those years, look at Johnny Manziel when he was at Texas A&M. They made, what was it, $790 million during the time he was at that school, and he got nothing, and then they gave him a lot of grief for making money signing autographs. But
he allegedly got nothing.
Yeah, allegedly.
Well, even Reggie Bush, right? That just came about where
took away his Heisman Trophy.
He's gotten the Heisman back, and I'm not that familiar with the whole story to know it that well, but some of the athletes I went to college with, they really came from some poor families, and then when they didn't have any kind of spending money or any money at all on the side, it can be challenging at times. That is not the state of the way it is today.
Right.
I think that they do have a lot of ongoing conversations at all levels, the university, the national level. I could never blame a kid for taking that kind of money, just like I can't blame people for applying for student loan forgiveness.
Right.
If they're offering it, I would take it.
Yep.
Do I necessarily agree with everything about it or why it's being done? Sometimes no, sometimes yes. But certainly you can't blame people for doing that.
Oh, no, you can't. I'm just saying, I guess more or less like the universities, right, who have the big money and the big donors and the people who are giving all that money. Like you said, you have the North Dakota states against the Iowas and against, the Oklahoma states and against the Michigans. They can't compete with the NIL money, and then I think it kind of, with the program, it's kind of an unfair advantage with the wrestling program. All these studs are going to here and there and there, and then North Dakota State, who had some really good kids, next thing you know, one or two of them take the NIL and go to like a Michigan or Ohio State or something
well,
like
I'm
that.
kind of glad that they actually expanded the college football playoff, and I know this is a little off target from wrestling, but glad they expanded it to 12 teams.
Me too.
Because in my opinion, Penn State will never make the playoffs. They don't have the NIL money to be a top NIL player in the country. You think they got more NIL than USC, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia? How are they ever going to be in the top four? Because if you don't have the money, you're not going to be at the top of the heap.